Lovely. Okay, so we'll do our usual standing warm-up, set up, and then we'll take it down to the floor. Still going to do quite a focus on sort of hips today, a bit of balancing, a lot of opening up for the hips. So let's start with our posture check. So we've got our heels under our knees, knees under our hips, hips under shoulders, shoulders under ears, or whichever way around that is. Pulling up nice and tall, the shoulders are backing down. And we're just taking a nice few deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, imagining the rib cage really expanding, and then on the out breath really contracting. Always trying to feel the rib cage drawing down towards the hips, and we're trying to breathe into the side and the back of the rib cage, not just into the tummy. Nice deep breaths. A bit longer than you would usually, same in as out, but 3, 4, 5 seconds, whatever works for you. Let's just have a little sway side to side, so we're just getting our grounding position, so the toes are going to lift and separate, making sure the feet are facing forward, so they're not turned in or out. And we can just stop somewhere central, just feeling the weight really nice and evenly distributed. We can have a little sway back and forth, and again just sense not gripping with the feet, but feeling that we've got the heel, the ball of the foot, the big toe, the little toe, and then just stopping in the centre. Lovely. And then let's carry on with these breaths. On the out breath, we'll tuck the chin in and tuck the chin, lengthen the back of the neck. Breathe in, lift slightly. Breathe out. Let's have those palms to the front. Breathe in, lift. Let the rib cage stretch away from the hips. And again, a little bounce in the knees, little arch in the upper back. Little swing. Now let's take the bottom back, chest to the knees, eyes to the toes. One more. Nice and floppy, lovely. Back to centre, lovely stuff. A little bit of a circle with that nose, just warming up the neck a little bit. And changing direction. Lovely. Then I'm going to take my right arm, keep my head central, take it up and over, and we let this one go down and leaning over as well. So a little lean in the neck, in the shoulder. We're trying to keep this arm up above us if we can, to keep us nice and straight so we don't rotate. Get a nice stretch all down the side. Let's breathe in, breathe out, come back. Let's change sides. Lovely, really feeling that stretch, elbow up to the ceiling. Breathing in, come back. Let's just go with the head this time, ear to shoulder, using the breath. So we move with the breath, doesn't matter which way around. Draw those shoulders down. Lovely. Holding over to the right, let's just gently roll the head forward, nice and slow, feeling the stretch in the back and the sides. Again, drawing those shoulders down and changing direction. Lovely. Next time we go to the right, we'll hold there. So hold into the right, drawing those hands and shoulders down, 2 fingers lengthen here. Really draw this one down as well, and just gently flex that hand and push the hand, the heel of the hand down, getting a nice stretch in the shoulders. Lovely stuff. And let's change sides, ear to shoulder, gently lengthen with the fingers, draw the shoulder down, push this one down as well. Lovely. Okay, just a little bit into the shoulders, so we're just going to take one arm back and over and looking at it as we go and bringing it all the way around, and then the other arm, so we follow the hand. It's just a little bit of a shoulder opener and a chest opener. Don't worry if the hips twist a little bit as well, not too worried about that at the moment. We will isolate the shoulders a little bit more in a minute. It's just getting that body warm. Okay, lovely. So a little bit of balance work. So we're starting with just taking the right foot, stepping it forward, still keeping the feet parallel. And I'm just going to take the arms back, both back, and then both forward. So when we take the arms back and forward, we want to try not to let our rib cage lift up and lean back like that. So keeping this closed. So it warms up the shoulders, but it's challenging the balance as well, and we're not using the rib cage or the spine. Let's now take this right leg just a little bit closer. If you're sort of standing on a plank, again, remember breathing with your movement, keeping the shoulders down. Try and keep the weight central so you're not on the front foot or the back foot more. Then, if we want to take it a bit further, squeeze in your bottom, squeeze the thighs. Can we take the foot one in front of the other, so like you're on a tightrope? So squeezing the thighs, heels into the floor, keeping your rib cage down. That's going to help with your balance. Squeezing the tummy with the breath. Lovely. So just challenging the core, waking it up, warming up the shoulders. Can we lift those heels? Only got to be a slight lift. Again, it's going to really challenge now we've got the heels off. Try and keep the tummy tight. How high you take it is up to you. The feet aren't too warm, so just be mindful of that. One more. And rest. Lovely. Feet back to parallel. Let's change sides. So this foot just steps forward. Weight central again. Arms back and arms forward. Lovely stuff. Think of the posture still, your tummy's in tight, lengthening from the top of the head, neck is long, tummy's in. Let's take that left leg slightly across a bit more. I like you're standing on a plank, but they're not totally on a tightrope yet. So our shoulders are getting a lovely opening, the chest is opening here as well. Lovely, I'm going to go onto the tightrope now. So this I find really helps if I squeeze the thighs together and squeeze the bottom to help me lift. And just come forward a little bit. I always find you want to go into that back foot, come forward a bit so your weight's right in the centre. You're really using that core. Wonderful. Nice flowing movements. Can we lift the heels? Using the breath as well. Lovely. Let's do two more of these. Really nice, ladies. One more. And heels down, lovely. Let's just give those feet a little shake. You can circle the ankles slightly. Lovely. So we're going to go to the edge of our mat. Be mindful with it. And we're going to do our roll downs. So again, we'll add a heel lift, so we're warming up these ankles a little bit. Keeping the bottom here, not sticking it back as much as you can. Weighting to the front of the feet. Let's lift the heels, lift the arms. Lower the heels. Lower the arms, lower the chin, around the shoulders as if someone's pulling on your arms. They're really heavy, the shoulder blades are separating. Pulling the tummy in. Keeping breathing. Try not to scrunch the toes, let the head relax. Breath in at the bottom, let's breathe out, let's uncurl. So really imagine that spine, the little bits of vertebra just stacking themselves back on top. Lovely, and then let's lift again. And lower. Scooping the belly, heavy arms, chin tucked in, eyes to the knees. And we want to really be stretching into the lower back as well, so really feel you sort of reaching and bending, so it isn't just the legs we're stretching here. Breath in, breathe out, come back. Lovely. Let's do one more and then we'll come down to the floor. Coming forward, keeping the toes where they are. So I'm just going to push back on those feet a little bit just to give those toes a little stretch. And then we can release the feet. Just sit back into child pose for a moment. And we can let the hands come behind, let the shoulders just relax and the head down. Lovely. Coming up, we're going to start on all fours. Down a bit. So we haven't warmed the wrists up, but we're literally just going to do a cat stretch. So no upper body work, they should be fine. Again, if they're uncomfortable in that position, just have them here. But let's roll the shoulders back, so wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, roll the shoulders back, breathe in, lift the chest, arch your lower back, stretch your tummy, and then breathe out round. So your tailbone is tucking under and you're taking your forehead down as if you were going to reach it. Looking at your belly button and then reverse, breathe in. Breathe out. It's all in that mid to lower back. Not much in the shoulders going on. Lovely. Next time, let's round the back and then take your bottom down towards your heels. Elbows on the floor. Lean forward and then push up, keeping the elbows in. So in a very small little push up, just to wake the arms up, those triceps. Again, if it's a lot, you can just stick with the normal cat stretch. 2 more. Last one. Let's stay back into this child pose. I'm going to open the knees a bit more so I can reach through, got a bit more room for the body. Lovely. Just give those wrists a little circle and a rest. So I'm going to work on our tummies now, doing a little bit of work. Again, it's all about the hips today, opening up the hips, working the legs, stretching the wrists. So one exercise I want to do, we'll work the legs first. So I'm going to lie down and I've got my feet and legs together, and then I'm going to open the feet so they've fallen open. And then, we've done this one a few times, I'm going to rest my head for this one to start with. I'm just going to squeeze, hopefully you can see my feet. I'm going to squeeze and rotate so my feet join together. Yeah, that's it. So just squeeze, so my feet have gone from turning in to turning out, basically. And we're going to do a few of those with the head down, then we'll add some upper body. Easiest way to do it, get the legs together, feet together, toes down, and then the legs fall apart. So even though we're not moving the upper body, let's not be collapsed, so we're slightly held. Space between the neck and the ear, pull the tummy in, and then just breathe in. Breathing out, and squeezing that tummy, pulling it up as if the floor is really cold, and rotate those heels, squeeze them together, and then release. So let's breathe, squeeze together, and release. So again, we're not pushing on the belly, you're pulling it in, just the rotation in the hips, squeeze the heels, and release. So this is working our inner thigh and it's working on our turnout. Squeezing the bottom as well as you do this, rather than just the inner thigh. Squeeze the heels, squeeze the bottom. Lovely. And again. So I'm going to add on to this. You can stay down. Well, now my hands, palms up here. And I'm just slightly lifting. So as my heels squeeze together, I'm reaching behind me and just lifting slightly. So it isn't a big lift. And then I'll release down. Breathe in, lift up, rotate, squeeze the heels. Really get the shoulders away from the ears. You're really reaching back. It's like you're hurtling, flying through the air. Reach back and then release. And again, it's not a press on the tummy. Breathe in, lift, rotate, reach back. Really be into the rib cage, pull the belly in the floor so you're not pushing on it, and release. So we're breathing as we lift because you're filling with air. You've got intra-abdominal pressure, so that protects everything. And again. Next I'm going to hold up and I'm just going to pulse the arms. So squeeze the heels, squeeze the bottom, and as if you've got a little bouncing ball, pulse it, and bounce that ball. Still really reaching back, try and create space between the shoulders and the ears. Neck is long, looking down, squeeze the tummy, squeeze the bum. And now let's take those arms as if you're trying to get your thumbs to touch. So instead of up and down, it's kind of touch them together, out and in. They probably won't reach, it doesn't matter, it's just that feeling of flapping side to side rather than up and down. Still keeping the chest lifted, squeeze the bottom, 4, 3, 2, and 1, lovely. So another exercise for these legs. So this time I'm going to start with turning the feet out, and they're here. And I'm going to lift the legs, and I'm going to pulse the heels together, and then pulse. Keep pulsing the heels together with flexed or pointed feet. So that'd be point, flex. So you can see my feet are pointing, they're doing that, and then they're flexing, but the legs are straight out behind me. This is rested down. So heel beats, so we just do 4 and keep changing. It's quite a few, so again it really works the inner thigh, working on the flexibility of the ankles. Squeeze the tummy in, squeeze the bottom, lift those legs, get them nice and straight, and then think of flexing those feet if you can, and then pulse together. Don't bash the heels together though, just, you might hurt them, okay, ready? Pulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, point, 1, 2, 3, 4, flex. And point, squeeze the tummy, squeeze the bum, flex, 2, 3, 4, and point, 2, 3, 4, and flex, 2, 3, 4, and squeeze that tummy, and point, and flex, I did that wrong, and point, and flex, nearly there, we can do it, and point, and flex, last time point, last time flex, and release. Oh. Really gets those thighs back. Let's have a little push back. Sit into child pose, just relax that lower back, round that back. Lovely. We're going to come up to sitting on our bottoms. And make sure I've got space either side. I'm going to be moving my arms side to side. So to start off with, I've got my feet together, knees together. Use the hands to pull yourself up. So ears are over shoulders, are over hips. So you've almost got a little arch here, and you're nice and really lengthened. Breathing in. Breathe out, you create a C shape. So scoop everything in. Breathe in, you lift. Breathe out, you round that lower back, as if you're going to get ready to lie down. Breathe in, lift. So it's just that mid-back, getting some extension and bending. Now when we lift, I'm going to open the knees, pull through. Breathe in. Feet open, knees open, breathe out. Starting to think of my hands underneath. You can use this to push a little bit. I'm going to start to take those hands off. Again, it's optional, we're just building here. You can keep them down if you want. So I'm just going to reach through. So I'm trying to rotate the hips, getting a real stretch in the back, getting these hips flexible. So it isn't always opening of the hips, it's the hips and the spine rotating forward and backwards that we want to get as well. Try and keep the toes down on the way back so we don't start lifting them and engaging the legs too much. I'm going to change the arms one more time. Can we reach up? Reach up, breathe in. So we're taking those thumbs behind, really stretch that back. One more. Hold here. Now so we've got our curtains, turn the hand down, open that curtain and come back. So the body's not moving, just really scoop in, pull the tummy in, and we stay here. Squeeze the knees, squeeze the heels, breathe, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in. You can go as low as you want to, but just maintain that you're not shaking. You can keep in this C curve, your belly's not popping out. One more each side, and we're going to hold. Hold here. Can we go a bit lower? A bit lower. A bit lower. And release all the way down. Lengthen, have a little stretch that tummy. So I'm going to grab the back of the knee to pull myself back up. I'm going to do the 100. So I like to start sitting up, as you know, because then I think you get into a better 100 shape. If you start on the floor and try and sit up, you can stress the neck. So you can stay higher or you can come down lower. But we're either going to have the feet here, pull the belly in, pump the arms and breathe, or the feet are here, so you're pulling back a bit more, or I'm going to lift one leg for 50, then the other leg for 50, but I'm actually going to lift one and then two, but I'll count you through it. So find your position, the shoulders are down, tummy's tight, and breathe in and out. and in, and out, and in, and out. So you almost feel like you're going to tip backwards, you're having to balance a little bit, and out, and in. Nice strong arms and fingers, and out. If you want to switch legs now, or lift both, knees and heels together. Starting to take it a bit lower, and in, and out. Straighten the legs if you can, and out. I'm lowering down, and out. So now I can lower. My back's on the floor, much better position for the head. Again, work at your level, nearly there. Out. Last time in. Last time out. All the way down, feet on the floor. Relax, let that head roll side to side, release any tension. Lovely. So we're doing a little bit of nice gentle hip mobility, not too much stress on the tummy today. So we're going to start with what I call leg folds. So you've got a little natural arch in your back because we're lying in neutral. Hands are to the side, neck is long. I want to lengthen my neck so I can look down. If you need a little pillow, grab one. And a knee fold is where you just pick the leg up, keep it in this position, and lower. And then you lift the other one up. So a few of these, just to get used to the leg lift. So nothing else is moving. So I don't lift the leg and pull it in and push my back in the floor. It's all completely still. It's just the leg lift. And that's the key, is to keeping everything still, completely controlling the body with just a small leg lift, having to use the core to stay in place. Lovely. Let's take the right leg up and hold it here. If I had a pencil on the top of my knee and I wanted to draw a circle, or I had paint on my knee and I'm trying to draw a round circle on the ceiling above me, that's what I want to do. So start small. So this is the hip joint moving around in its socket, but the knee's moving. The ankle is still, it's not an ankle rotation. About the size of a, large saucer. And let's take it the other way, so we start nice and small. So the key is with this, your other leg wants to start wobbling around, so you've got to keep that left leg really secure. Imagine you've got a cup of tea on that one. Don't let your body be moving, so keeping still. Try not to grip with that left foot. So everything is still, so it's just starting small. Let's take that down, good. So it's our warm-up one, we're going to go bigger next time. Let's lift the left leg, again keeping the body completely still. We're in neutral, the legs are relaxed. And a small circle on the ceiling. Doesn't really matter which way, we're going to change direction. I'm going anti-clockwise. That seems natural with my left leg. Glasses steaming up again. It's funny weather today, now it really feels like it needs a storm. I'm so hot. It's gone all sort of meh and grey. Hope it rains for my plants. Let's change direction. Let's keep that neck long and that chin down, shoulders down. Keep that right knee from wobbling. And also, if you're not sure, especially when we go up a level, if your back's moving, you can always put your hands underneath, which we probably will for the next set. So you can always come back to this if you want. So our base move. Release. Good. So a little bit of work going on in the legs. It is all going on inside, even though it doesn't feel like it is too much. So I'm going to move over a bit because I've got quite long legs. I'm bound to hit my telly. I'm going to start with the legs straight now. It doesn't matter if you can't get it straight, but think as straight as you can and flexing we're pointing the ankle, but you don't have to point the toes, otherwise you get cramps. So it's your ankle is active, but the toes are relaxed. You can point them if you want, just be mindful you can get cramp. So I'm lifting the leg up, round. So it's a circle still, a bit more of a D shape. So the more I bring the leg in towards me, the more I'm working the hamstring. The more I take it out, the more I'm working the inner thigh. And then having to pull it back in is the core to stop me rolling over. So that's what we want to do. Again, this left leg is still. Let's take our hands underneath the back and just feel them like you're just giving them a little squash, but you shouldn't feel them moving. If you feel you're really squashing your hands, make the circle smaller because it means you're using your spine. We just want to use the leg, the strength of the leg, to move the leg and the strength of the core to keep the body still, especially the neck, the chest, everything else. Let's change direction. Lovely stuff. Again, with breath. Let me breathe in and out. And in. Especially when you take that leg out, that left knee really wants to go. So I'm wobbling a little bit. That's a good thing. That's what we want. You know, your core is working. It should be a slight challenge here. If you know your back is doing what it should, you can take your arms out if that's not comfortable. Lovely. One more circle. Lovely. And release. Let's change sides. Steamed up again. So left leg up in the air. I'm just going to move myself a bit. Left leg up. And again, that's flexed, that's pointed toes. So do see how that feels. If you're used to pointing your feet, it'll be alright, but you can end up with cramp. So it's a small circle and we get progressively bigger, a bit like a backwards D. Again, I'm going anti-clockwise, keeping this right leg still, sorry. So make the movement as big as you want without moving the body, the neck, the chest, the arms, any of it. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe in. I feel a lot more clicking on this side. That's perfectly normal. It's just all your bones, ligaments and all the bits moving around. I find it doesn't click on my right, but then maybe I'm just more flexible on that side. I'm going to change directions, so I'm coming down, round and up. I find this harder because when the leg's out to the side, it takes more effort to bring it round, and don't let that knee fall out. Oh, to stay there, keeping this nice and flat. Fantastic. Length for the neck, keep breathing. One more. Wonderful stuff. Let's bring those knees in and just give them a little circle round, releasing those inner thighs. We'll do a little stretch here for the inner thighs and take them the other way. I want to do a bit of work for the thighs as well. We should do that in a moment. Just a little stretch, just pull the knees out to the side and just hold there for a moment. Lovely, knees together, left foot on the floor, keep the right knee in. I'm going to pull it in, relax the neck, and then slide the left leg away. Lovely, so we've got a real lengthening in that leg, stretching the hip flexor. We've been lifting the leg up, it's been in this position, crunching that hip flexor, so we want to stretch it out. It's a single leg stretch, lovely. Taking this knee just across the body slightly without lifting your hip off the floor, just getting a bit of a stretch here. Lovely. And let's release, let's change sides. I'm going to bring my left knee in, get that knee in. Again, neutral spine with the back. You don't want to press the back into the floor. Otherwise you won't get this other leg away. You want to really lengthen, feel that stretch, as if someone's grabbing your leg and they're pulling it away. Relaxing the neck and shoulders, all the tensions in this front leg here. Pull the knee in and across slightly, so we're just getting that stretch in the outside of the left hip. Lovely. So a couple of slightly different exercises. This one we're going to do, again, it's all about the hips opening. So we're going to start with the legs here up in the air, and we're going to do a very small crunch. So I'm going to support the back of my head with my hands, and I'm trying to lift the chest up. I'm not just lifting my head up and down. So keep your head back and lift the chest. So it's a small lift up, but your head almost stays sat back into your hands. You can link them together so it's heavy. Keeping the elbow back. Your legs don't have to be straight. I'm just going to lift up. So really squeezing the abs, pulling them in. Lovely. So it's a feeling of lifting up rather than towards the legs, because we're going to change the legs in a moment. Lovely. So, next one, as I come up, I want to open the knees and take my elbows literally to the knees and then down the leg straight. It's a bit like a frog. And lifting the chest. And think of bringing your knees towards your elbows a little bit as well, not just not trying to lift too much, otherwise you end up lifting the head too much. So we just want to feel a real crunch, slight lift in the upper body. If you want to take the hands away from the head, we can start to reach through. Last few. Last one. And release. Lovely. Again, just knees in and roll around. So another exercise, this is the V-sit. We're not going to do a full V-sit, we're just going to add different layers to this one. So I'm going to start lying down and my hands linked together over my head. So I've created like a shape, a round shape. And I'm just going to lift the upper body. So my arms are staying near my ears and we're releasing down. If this is any pain on your back, just put your feet on the floor. But you can do the same thing with your feet here or lengthen. So just squeeze and lift. Breathe in low. So stay with this, join in with me, and we're just going to add on to this. But we're not going to do the full one today. So what I'd like to do is start to lift my left leg up. It's only very small. It's as if I'm sort of creating a bow shape. The key is not to bring your arms down because the arms are heavy. We want to move the upper body with the arms. Let's do the right leg, 4 on the right. 1, 2, 3. And if you had any neck problems, you could just lift the arms and the leg. It's still going to work your lower abs a little bit. Last one. So the next one is 2 legs if we can. Again, if you're feeling anything bad, twinging in your lower back, just stick with 1 leg each, or you can still do the same thing with that. Okay, if we can, it's a small lift, it's really not very high, it's just a small heel lift. Thinking of trying to press the back into the floor. A full V-sit would be when we're here and then we reach and then we curl all the way up. We're not going to do that today. 2 more. Last one, can we hold it? Hold. For 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Ooh. Lovely. I'm going to do a little bit of work for the neck now, so it's quite intensive. I'm going to grab a pillow just for underneath my head, so if you have got a little pillow. For a chest opener, just to open up that chest and give that neck a bit of a nice stretch out. So pillows under your head, your knees are nice 90-degree angles. You can have your knees here if you prefer, you can take that knee over. If you find you're very flexible and you're getting all the way over, it's good to have the knee on the floor, but work however you want. Have the shoulder underneath you as much as you can. Be careful with the glasses with this one. Hands are together and then we open up. Just make sure the knees stay together and stay heavy. You don't want to lift the knees and open them. Follow back and breathe. And close. Lovely. Opening. So if you find you're really getting your hand to the floor ready, bend the arm and lead with your elbow. Just remember to keep these knees down. Follow the head with the hand. I'm going to slightly change it. I'm going to draw a semicircle over the head all the way round and back. So all the way round. Doesn't matter if you don't touch the floor. And close. Use that breath. 1 more. Keep those knees together. And then we're just going to open up and hold wherever the best stretch is for you. The best bit you feel it. Try and keep the shoulder away from the ear. Getting a nice stretch in the chest. The neck is stretched, but it's relaxed. Even if the arm's just hanging there, it will just hang if it can't reach the floor. Lovely. So I won't do the other side yet, because I want to do something for the legs. So I'll move the pillow out of the way and I'm going to lie on my arm. That's my pillow this time. Head's on my arm. Bring your feet slightly to the corner of the mat, just so you're a little bit rounded so you don't roll over. Relax that underneath foot. We're going to do a little bit of waist work and leg work. So your hand can be here, and again try and pull up underneath. You can see the mat pulls up like that, so you've got a gap, and then you're going to really be working the waist. If you're collapsed into the floor, this is all relaxed, pull it in and try and pull it up. So let's just lift that top leg up, not high, don't grip the underneath one, but pull here. So imagine there's a candle under there and it's, oh, it's hot, you've got to lift. Breathe in, and out, and in, and that's nice and lift and lower, nice and easy. So can we take this other hand, so this palm is up on the floor, and take the arm up and down. Again, it's an add-on. Try and keep the neck nice and straight and length and looking straight forward. And you're really feeling it underneath. That's where we want to squeeze that waist. A little bit of hip work in the top, but not too much. So how I'm going to slightly change this is this hand on the floor, put it down. And then as I lift, I'm going to just slightly lift the upper body up. So now I'm crunching here. This is relaxed. This is crunching. And down. And crunch. So I'm more leaning into the elbow a little bit or into the fingers, but try not to get too much of a crick in the neck. So it's just a small lift. 2 more. Then we're going to change the knee to a knee and elbow. So bring the elbow into the knee, so we crunch into the sides. It becomes slightly more into the obliques. So we crunch and lift. And crunch. And lower. 2 more. Lovely. Going to rest my head down again, bring those knees in front. And I'm going to open the knee and close. And open and close. We can lift the heels and open and close if we want to add on slightly. Just keeping the hips really heavy and down so we're not rolled back. Lovely. Open and close. Either heels lifted or on the floor. Going to add on to this, going to add a little leg extension. So we open, extend, so we're really opening up this leg, in and close. Lovely. Lift. Open. So it's all working on this hip mobility. Try and get this leg open and then extend it, and try and also turn that leg out so it isn't turning in when you're here. That's it. So you're opening up. Again, all working the hips. 2 more of these, then we'll do a little bit of work for our inner thigh, and then we shall flip over. Lovely. So this top leg, just place it here, and this leg is going to straighten. I'm going to keep here. You can sit up here, do whatever what is suitable. I find it's a bit too much on the neck, so I'm just going to relax. All I'm going to do is lift this inner thigh, lift and lower. Good old inner thigh lift. We tend not to do too much for that. Again, just relaxing the rest of the body. Can do 3 more, make it to 8, and then we're going to pulse 8. Okay, let's hold it up. Doesn't have to be that high. 1, flex the foot. 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, 6. Squeeze the tummy, keep the rest of the body still. Let's do 1 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Lovely. Just bring that knee up. That just gives it a little stretch. I'm going to switch ends. So start off with our chest opener. Again, let's have the knees together. Shoulders underneath you, knees right up here and heavy, and open up. as long as your breath. So the movement that you open with, once your breath is full, then you can come back. So always trying to move with breath. One of the principles of Pilates. Breathing, control, centering, relaxation, all of these things. Got much more stretch on this side, which is usually the case. Just make a little mental note which side is a little bit more flexible. I'm going to circle my arm over my head, so circling up and round and then close with whichever room, however much room you have. Circle and close. Wonderful. A few more here. Let's do one more. And let's hold it wherever the tightest spot is. Just hold it there for a moment. Lovely. Okay, going to lie onto our arm again. And the legs are going to be out. I lie myself against the back of the mat and then I bring the feet forward to the front of the mat. Everything's stacked, so instead of here we want to pull up. So you can almost get your hand underneath. So you're really engaging this waist muscle. Try and let the feet relax. Hand can be here, neck is long. Let's lift and lower that top leg. Just the fingertips with that hand and the palm is up to the ceiling so we don't press on it. Lovely. Breathing into it. I'm going to add an arm. Again, all these things are optional add-ons. Challenges the balance a bit more. So the idea is everything is still, apart from this arm and the leg. So you're having to use your core muscles to keep the rest of the body still. It's not too high with the leg. Otherwise we start to change the position of the spine and the hips. Really just a little extension. Lovely. Let's start thinking of this arm that we're lying on. I'm going to turn my palm down to the floor and then very gently just starting to push up. It's very small. Think of it as an extension out and up. So now the underneath is relaxed and the top is contracting. Still keep the tummy squeezed. Try not to grip with your underneath foot. I'm always doing that. I always find myself suddenly got my foot gripping the floor. 3 more, then we do elbow to knee, lovely. 1 more, then it's going to be elbow to knee. So we're working again, opening of the hip, but the oblique muscle a bit more. The song goes on a bit. More. Great, let's bring those legs in front. And we're still going to open and close. Still got my arm on my head on my arm. If we want to lift those feet, open and close. That's the relaxation, done that. There we go. Opening and closing. So again, working this outer hip, working on this mobility in the hip, working on the thighs. I'm going to add an extension on in a moment. Oops. I'll play in a moment. So I'm going to add an extension on. There we go. Lift, extend, in and down. Again, so I'm rotating the leg and then I'm trying to extend, rotating as much as I can. So really think of the rotation coming from here and the leg extends out. Squeeze the tummy, extend. Do 2 more. 1 release. We're going to do that inner thigh. So this top leg, we're just going to put the foot behind, take this leg out. Might have to shift yourself about a bit to get comfortable. And we're lifting and lowering just the fingertips on the floor with this hand. You're going to roll back a bit, that's fine, because we've got the leg, inner thigh up to the ceiling, which is fine. 4 more here, then we've got 16 little pulses. Lovely, and here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Still squeezing here. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to bring the knee in to stretch a bit. And then bring those legs in. Lovely. So I'm going to roll over onto the back. Stretch out these thighs a bit. So let's bring the knees into the chest. So a lot of hip work today. Very good for the back. If the hips are mobile, the back isn't going to take all the strain. Opening the knees, pulling them out as much as we can, and also bringing them in a little bit as well. So pressing the lower back into the floor. Let that neck be nice and relaxed. You can look side to side, no tension. And then if we can you take your feet up a little bit, still keeping the knees bent? Could you maybe grab your ankles and pull them in? You might find if you sit up you can grab your feet a bit more and then lie down and then open them. Again, everyone's going to be a bit different. You might find just holding here is enough, or finding the insides of your feet. You want to just pull down, and that's going to stretch these thighs. Whichever way you find best. You're either going to be here or whatever works. And then relax. Whilst you've got your hands on your feet or on your leg, can we just open one? So we just get this nice extension in the leg. Really feeling that down the thigh. If you need to support from underneath, please do. If you're comfortable pushing, that's great. Otherwise, I think she thinks I'm talking to her sometimes, Alexa. Change sides, so don't have to hold the foot, you could just relax it. Or just give a little bit of press on there. Then let's try both legs, just really nice opening of that hip. Again, if you need to support, you can have your hands on the floor if that's too much. And you might find your legs are much further away. Just work with your own body. Lovely, let's release. Ooh. Let's very gently come up to sitting, rolling ourselves up. You can do a little bit of stretching sitting up for the legs. So I want to have my legs out in front. You can stand long ways on your mat just so you can see me. Lovely, so I'm going to sit up nice and tall. I tend to pull my sort of bottom underneath me. It sounds odd, but it does help you really sit up nice and tall. And then I'm just going to reach up and then reach forward as if I'm folding in half, really feeling the stretch in the legs, and then relax down. Bring your hands back up and then go again. So we reach up, stretching forward, forward, forward. A few more of these. Breathe in, reach. One more. And then I'm going to reverse. So I'm going to come forwards and lift up. So it's a stretch for that back as well. Lift up. And forward. Lift up. One more. Lovely. Bring in the right knee, right heel into the thigh. Sitting up nice and on those sitting bones. I'm going to have my hand on my left and let it help me twist behind. This right arm, same arm as leg that's bent, I'm going to reach up and over And I'm looking into the eye of my elbow, and this is just really stretching all down the back. Not too much into this leg at the moment, it's more the back of the hips. Reaching up, trying to twist the chest so we're looking up that way. Then I'm going to rotate, turn the chest to the front and take the hands down. So now we're stretching more into the hamstring. Working with your body. So if you can flex the foot, wonderful. If not, don't worry. Release. Good. I'm just going to cross this leg over. I'm going to keep that leg straight. I'm just going to pull the leg in and turn. So the right leg you've just pulled over, you turn the same way as it. Hand and look behind you. I'm going to do a few back stretches on the floor in a moment. Nice to get those legs all stretched. Lovely. Let's release. So other heel, left heel into thigh. I'm going to have the hand on this leg to turn me to face behind me to my left. Hand down and then reach it all the way up behind you. This leg's hand sliding down, stretching out that hip on the back on this side. Looking into the eye of the elbow. And then let's turn the chest and face the leg and reach forwards. Again, if you can flex or reach that foot or do whatever you want to just add a little bit more onto the stretch, but don't ever rush or pull, just gently into it. Coming up, so the leg that's into the thigh, just cross it over, pull yourself into it and turn, same way, back over to the left hand, down. Lovely. So we'll just do a few more stretches on the floor and have our little cool down. So I'm going to lie down, find yourself a comfy position. I'll put on our favourite song. And we can just close the eyes, think of the breathing, and just have your feet on the floor, your knees bent, and just breathing in and out. Nice, relaxing. There we go. So feet and knees together, hands to the side, just a little sway of those knees, side to side. And then just let the knees fall over to the right, gently, wherever they land. And looking to the left, keeping the shoulders down. Then eyes back to centre, gently squeeze the tummy, bring your knees back to centre, and let them fall the other way. And looking the other way. Then head back to centre, knees back to centre. Let's cross the right leg over the left leg. So the like you're sitting in a chair, so the thighs are together, there's no gap, and just let those legs fall to the left. So you're getting a real nice stretch in this hip, keeping the shoulder down, look to the right. And then gently head back to centre. The legs are heavy, so really slowly lift them back. Keep them crossed, but just take them to the other side. Keeping the shoulders down and looking the other way. Just getting there gently because the legs are twisted up. It's quite an intense stretch. And then let's look back to centre again, gently lift those knees back. Let's switch sides. So left leg crosses over right, nice and tightly. And I'm going to take the legs over towards the right. And then looking left, shoulders down. Doesn't matter if they slightly move apart a bit, whatever works for your back and your body. And then gently face back to ceiling, slowly lift those knees. I've always got one foot on the floor, so it's not too much stress on the back. Falling the other way, feeling the stretch change. And looking the other way. And then gently, eyes back to centre, knees back. Let's lengthen the body. Have a little stretch, full stretch. And then let's just take ourselves into a position of relaxation, the feet apart, palms up or down, eyes are closed. And just breathe in a natural way to you, just feeling nice and relaxed. Let's start with our toes, little scrunch of the feet, scrunching up those toes, feel tension in the joints. It's quite nice opposite if you've been pointing your feet, breathing in. Breathe out, release those toes, feel all the tension leave. Then let's flex those feet, feeling tension in the ankles, front and the back. Breathing in, breathing out, relax. Then feeling tension in the calves and the knees and the thighs and the bottom. Breath in, breathe out, feeling all the legs and bottom relax. Then feeling tension in the pelvic floor, in the tummy, shrugging the shoulders, breathing in, breathe out, let the whole trunk and the shoulders relax. Feeling tension from our shoulders all the way to our fingertips, stretching those fingertips apart, breathing in, breathing out, relax. Then making a fist with your hands, scrunching up that hand tightly, holding on to anything bad, any bad thoughts, breathing in, breathe out, let's shake them out, shake them away, and relax. Then into the face, we close the eyes really tightly, focusing on the centre of the eyes, on the forehead, gritting the teeth, the jaw is clenched, breathing in, breathe out, feel everything soften in the face. Let's squeeze everything again one more time, head to toe. Give it a good squeeze, take a breath in, breathe out, relax. Now just keep on with your breathing. Every time you exhale, just sense another part of your body just relaxing a bit more. So the toes are lovely and warm and relaxed. And the ankles and the calves and the knees are relaxed. And the thighs and the bottom and the tummy is relaxed. The tummy is just rising and falling with the breath. And the whole of the chest and shoulders and arms and fingers are relaxed. And the face is relaxed, let the jaw just fall apart where it's natural, let the eyes just relax or roll up in your head wherever they want to be. And slowly let's start to bring some awareness back to this body, so we can have a wiggle with the fingers and a wiggle of the toes, we can roll the eyes around, roll the tongue around. Circle the hands, circle the feet, have a little rock of the head side to side. Let's place the feet on the floor, have a little stretch with those arms. Bring one knee in at a time. Just pull yourself up towards your knees, giving your upper back a little stretch. You can open the eyes. And release down. Let's roll onto our right hand side. Roll ourselves over. Come to kneeling. So our feet tucked under again. Just giving them a little stretch. Hands back. Let's push back onto those feet. And then heels down. Start to straighten the legs. Relax the neck, and we're going to uncurl the same way as we did our roll down. Head is last. Wonderful. Let's have a little breath to finish. Lovely stuff. And again. One more. And relax and give yourselves a clap. Thank you so much, ladies.